My 12-year-old daughter beat my mother's new husband until he passed out at their wedding, and I couldn't be more proud. I know how that sounds. I know what kind of mother says those words out loud, unashamed. 12 hours after paramedics wheeled a 60-year-old man off a dance floor in front of 80 guests. But I watched everything that led to that moment, and I would let it happen again tomorrow. It started small. Eli, my 6-year-old, came home from a weekend at Grandma's quieter than usual. He stopped eating with his shirt off in front of us. He flinched when my husband reached to help him with his belt. I asked him if everything was okay, and he said yes. Fast. Too fast. The way kids answer when the real answer is no. My mother had been dating Richard for 8 months. Widower, retired contractor, generous with gifts. The kind of man who remembered everyone's birthday and made a show of it. Everyone loved him. My mother glowed around him for the first time since my father died. So when Mia, my daughter, said she didn't like the way Richard looked at Eli when he thought no one was watching, I told her she was imagining things. I told her to be kind. I told her Grandma deserved this happiness. Mia stopped arguing with me out loud. She started watching instead. She was the one who found the mark. Not a bruise from playing outside. Not a scrape from a fall off a bike. A straight red welt across Eli's lower back, the width of a belt. The kind of injury that doesn't happen by accident. She photographed it on her tablet before I even saw it, because she said she knew I'd tell her she was overreacting again. I confronted my mother. She cried, called me cruel, said Richard would never, said I was trying to ruin the best thing that had happened to her in years. She said Eli was clumsy, that he'd fallen against the porch railing, that I was choosing to believe the worst about a man who had done nothing but love our family. I wanted to believe her. God help me. I wanted to believe her so badly that I let 3 more weekends happen. 3 more weekends of Eli coming home smaller than he left. The wedding was set for a Saturday in the backyard my mother had spent a fortune renovating. String lights, a rented dance floor, 200 chairs. I told myself I'd watch Richard closely. I told myself I'd protect my son from a distance, quietly, like an adult handling an adult problem. Mia had other plans. I didn't see it start. I heard it. A collective gasp rippling backward through the crowd like a wave, then someone screaming my name. By the time I pushed through the guests, my 12-year-old daughter had Richard on the ground near the gift table, and she was not stopping. She had a fistful of his collar in one hand and was driving her other fist into his face with a fury I had never seen in a child, screaming words I didn't fully register until later. Show them what you showed Eli. Show everyone. Show them the belt. 2 of Richard's groomsmen finally pulled her off him. Richard lay there groaning, one eye already swelling shut. Blood on the white tablecloth someone had draped over the gift table an hour earlier. My mother was screaming at Mia, calling her a monster, telling her she had ruined everything, telling her in front of 200 people that she would never forgive her for this. I stood frozen for exactly 3 seconds. Then I walked past my mother, past Richard groaning on the ground, and I knelt down next to my daughter and pulled her into my chest while she shook. Officers arrived 9 minutes later. That's when things got complicated in a way I hadn't prepared for, because the first question the responding officer asked wasn't about the belt mark, or Richard, or what Mia had seen that made her finally snap. The first question he asked was whether I wanted to press assault charges against my own child. I told him no. He looked at Mia's split knuckles, looked at Richard's face, looked back at me like I'd lost my mind. Then Richard, still holding a bar towel to his eye, said something that made the entire backyard go silent. He said if anyone was pressing charges, it should be against him before I take this any further, and that when the paramedics got him alone in the ambulance, he started talking, and he wouldn't stop.